alongside Fox 11 prep expert Doug Ritchay. Doug, time to hand out the awards. We got basketball season in the books. Had a nice time down in Madison.
Yeah, real good time in Madison. A lot of state titles, which is why we need to bring the state tournament back to, not back to Green Bay, but to Green Bay. A lot of success on the hard court there. A lot of success during the season, as we're going to find out here, with a lot of good basketball players in our area.
All right, so we saw 5 state champions from our area in Madison. Let's give out some more awards. We'll start with Large Division Player of the Year. That's going to a guy who didn't bring home the championship for his team, but got to the finals, Jason Miller from Kaukauna.
Jason Miller led Kaukauna to a silver ball, the first one ever. And this kid, 6'5", inside, outside. He's long. Did a nice job rebounding this year. Good finish. Just a really good all-around basketball player.
And all-around was really the key for this team, because they asked him to kind of do different things depending on who they played.
Yeah, they were a good defender too, and he could shoot the three, he could drive, he could post. It just depended on his matchup, and we're actually seeing that in all these highlights of him.
A very successful player, no doubt. Lost to Onalaska in the championship game, but no shame in that. They got some real good players there. Taking a look at the stats from this season, he led Division II in scoring, for runner-up Kaukauna, 15.2 points per game. Now, if you're used to NBA stats, LeBron James, that might not seem like a lot, but in high school, that's a good amount of points.
Yeah, and they didn't score 80 or 90 a game. They did score around the mid-50s. They also had Kyle Shearer's a really good team, as we're going to find out later about his team. But Jason Miller, just a really good player.
Let's take a look at the all-large division area team. You got Jason Miller, of course. Ryan Tochik, real good player out of Bayport. Cody Wickman, and 2 players from De Pere there at the bottom.
Yeah, Tochek, the FRCC Player of the Year. Miller, the FEA Player of the Year. A few more FRCC guys there. Poitras and Vandenberg just did so much for that team. And Cody Wickman, just a great shooter. Probably the best in the area.
Hey, and it's not like college basketball. You got all seniors on this team. That's nice. It's always good. It's good to see. All right, Coach of the Year for the big schools. We're going to go back to the Ghosts. It's Mike Shallow, and this guy really, took this team, a talented bunch, right to the state final.
Yeah, Mike did a good job all year, 24-3. Only 1 FEA loss. It's not easy to post that type of mark. And although he did have Jason Miller, this wasn't a team just loaded with seniors. There's a mix of it. And I thought every time I saw his team, they just seemed so well organized, and it showed in the way they produced.
Played good team basketball, and kind of looking at their resume right here, 25-3, real impressive. And this was a good conference they're playing, and they win the conference by 3 games. That's a wide margin.
Yep, I was at their clinching game against Kimberly, and they kind of ran away from Kimberly after that. And just a really good program. 3 of the last 5 years, the Ghosts have been at the top in the FEA. One of the biggest reasons, Mike Shallow.
Absolutely, and looks to keep it going. Of course, let's go to Small Division Player of the Year now. And you might as well say maybe the best basketball player in the state of Wisconsin this year. I think that's pretty safe. Future Badger Sam Decker, Doug. He does it all.
Yeah, I don't think this is much of a surprise.
Yeah.
I mean, he's Mr. Basketball, so he's our Mr. Basketball for the Small Division. What can you say about the guy? 40 points in the state final. Tremendous player. Could do it all, and he did it all.
And he's playing in a small division. I mean, you look at this video. He's kind of towering over everybody, but he rose to the occasion in the biggest games, in the state championship game.
Yeah, Division 5, people say, oh, it's Division 5. But, in that state championship game, we're seeing Lutheran, a pretty good team, and they've played out of Division 5 in their non-con schedule. Plus, he's played AAU. Sam Decker's played against the best players, and he's one of our best players. Gets the win in the Kohl Center. He's going to be looking for more wins in the Kohl Center next year. Is this an alley-oop? Yeah, that's something right there. Taking a look at his season, 32.5 points per game, 14 rebounds per game, and 40 points, 16 boards in the state title game, Doug. Just all-around guy. Yeah, it's easy to score. It's not easy to score a lot of points, but when you do it in the state championship game, it kind of tells you how good this kid was. He just didn't do it against a regular season, small matchup. He did in the biggest game. He had 35 in the state semis. Small school all-area team taking a look. Sam Decker. You got Turner Botts, real good player, coming back next year out of Little Chute. They have a lot of guys coming back, rounding out the small division team. Also got guys from NEW, Lutheran, Almero, Valders. Yeah, a lot of good players here. Travis Voigt takes over for Kaylor Zimmerman. No problem. They win 21 games. He scored about 16 a game. Brad and Tyler, so good all around. Drew Benversi, a very good scorer for Valders. A lot of good players to pick from here. Now we got the small division all-area team, and a school we don't see represented on that actually took home a state championship. Yes, Brilliant. Got to give a lot of credit to their coach, our small division coach of the year. Absolutely. You look at Brilliant this year, not a big-time scorer, but Pete Kittle had a lot of good players. And when they needed to play great, Pete Kittle got them to play great, and that's why they won the state title.
Now, a player after the state championship told me Pete Kittle basically runs the school. I don't want to step on any toes, but he got football, he has basketball. This guy, he's an all-around coach.
Yeah, he's an all-around coach. He wins when it's cold outside in November at the state championships. He wins when it's, I guess, nice outside in Madison for basketball this year. Did a great job.
Very talented. You see him with his son right there. Eric Kittle, a point guard, a star on the football team as well. Taking a look at Brilliant's resume, and Pete Kittle, you got to give him a lot of credit. 26-2 and kind of flew under the radar, but hey, they're holding the gold ball in Madison.
Yeah, you know, how can you fly under the radar? But they kind of did. You know, Little Chute was that premier team most of the year, but Brilliant took them down to the sectional final, and look what happened.
All right, congrats to them and all of our boys players earning the Hardware Players of the Year, Coach of the Year, all area teams, and of course all those online, fox11online.com. Let's go over to the girls' side now. Large Division Player of the Year. Really not a surprise here, a record-setting season.
Yeah, where do we start? Kenzie Perttu. I mean, what can you say? This girl did everything this year. 1,626 points, and she did it all sorts of ways. I saw her a bunch this year, and just so fun to watch. The biggest negative this whole year was her not getting to Madison. On that bigger floor, I think she would really cause problems.
And maybe if you saw in that graphic a moment ago, it's pronounced Pertumeter. We've been keeping track of the points, the all-area scoring record.
Yeah, the Pertumeter got up there over 1,600. We had a lot of fun following her this year, just kind of living through her, always hoping she'd score a lot of points to get that record, and she did that.
Well, let's take a last look at the Pertumeter. That's 1,626 points. This is someone who has been able to do it year after year. Staying healthy is a big part of it, and she was a fun player to watch on a good Preble team.
Yeah, she led them to 16 wins, and 19.8 in our area led everybody in scoring.
Absolutely. All right, looking at the all-area team for the large schools on the girls' side, sophomore Allie LeClaire kind of sticks out. Sarah Boyer-Rody's got a good team coming back. And then, of course, you got New London represented after their great season. Good players all around.
Absolutely. Allie LeClaire and Chelsea Nooker. No pressure, girls, but I expect you on this team next year fighting for the award. Nooker might be the best all-around player. Whatever you want her to do, she's going to do it.
A lot of very talented players. And speaking of very talented teams, large division, our Coach of the Year is this guy right here. And Doug, it's hard to argue with 42 straight wins.
How do you not give it to him?
We gave it to him.
Yeah, exactly. 28-0. We won the state title last year. Not that that means this year, but he just did a great job. And I saw their practice. I've been at a practice earlier this year, and I left it saying, I think I know why they're undefeated. They're so fun to watch in practice, let alone a game. Troy Krause is a great coach.
Yeah, Troy Krause, very good coach, very good team, but you got to give the coach a lot of credit when you look at their resume. 28-0, won their title by 3 games, 2 straight state titles, and 42 games in a row. That's unreal in any sport.
Yeah, their last 2 losses, I actually saw both the Luxembourg Casco last year. I saw their closest game this year, Denmark, where they won by 2. And, of course, the state championship game. He did a great job. All
right, let's move over to the girls' small division side now. Our player of the year is actually going to be a future teammate, I believe, of our large division player of the year.
That's not why we picked Kylie Moxley, but we did anyway. Kylie had a great season for Brilliant, led them to the sectionals. And one of those players that last year she was more of a post. This year she stretched her game out a little bit, but really good player, about 19 a game.
And you like to see that. You see it, out of Julie White on the college stage. Comes into college as a guard, ends up playing forward. And the players who have a little bit more size and strength, when they can play down low, it really helps their team.
Yeah, it does. And she talked to me this year about always getting bottled up inside. And if you can move your game outside a little bit, it makes it easier to score. Although she really never had a problem scoring.
And let's look at the all-area team for the small division schools. You see it again, senior. 2 players from Oshkosh Lords, very talented bunch there. A lot of good players again.
Every single one of them scored more than 1,000 this year, in their career.
Yeah.
This year would be really good, but all really great players going to go play in college, and tough not to pick any of these kids.
Absolutely, and Oshkosh Lords, 2 of them right there. They're losing a lot, but great season for the Knights. And let's move to Coach of the Year now. We saw a very emotional Lynn Geyer after winning the state title, raising the gold ball. And I imagine right now a similar reaction as she finds out she's Coach of the Year.
I would think this is probably the biggest moment of her career.
It's pretty big.
Now. Lynn did a tremendous job with this team last year. She's actually a Coach of the Year too. And a lot of this year, they were just kind of cruising. They lost 4 games, which is a big number for her team. And they got down to state. I really like their chances, and this is like the Brilliant team. No one scores a lot, but when you got to play all 5 of those girls at once, it's tough to beat them.
Yeah, when we saw again, very talented team. Coaching, she does it also with her daughter playing on the team.
Yeah, Nicole's a very good perimeter player, a senior, which made this season really good since they won the state championship. But she's a heck of a coach, and the thing is that team doesn't lose everything. So maybe Lynn goes for a three-peat next year.
Good to see him again. Here's Kewaunee resume for the season, 24-4, and they're able to, split the conference with Algoma, another very good team, and Kewaunee, a team to be reckoned with in the future.
As long as Lynn's there, they're probably always going to be reckoned with. They're in a run right now where you expect this type of thing from them. Not to say they're going to win state, but they're going to be a really good ball club every year.
Well, we expect Kewaunee to be good. We expect Doug to be good as well, and he has much, much more online. Fox11online.com. We got coverage, as you see there, of soccer, and a lot from you, Doug, coming up on these players, our teams, our players, and our all-area teams.
Absolutely. Everything online, and it's a good read if I do say so myself.
I've checked it out. I'll vouch for that. Fox11online.com. All you got to do is see all Doug's work. Just go to the website, mouse over sports, and click on high school. And our Dermatology Associates No Problem Play of the Week. Familiar name, Jay Tollefson, the quarterback, here with the RBI triple as West Decatur beat Wrightstown on Saturday. That is our Dermatology Associates No Problem Play of the Week. Doug Ritchay, thank you very much. We'll be right back.